All right. Fantastic. All right. Well, let's officially start. I would like to welcome everyone here today who has joined us to help us celebrate the second annual Beyond Zero Green Fleet Awards. It is not only for fleets that we're recognizing this this day as a Beyond Zero Day. We're also recognizing some key leaders in our community. And joining me today is a very dear colleague and now friend, Kim Frost. She's the executive director of UCARE, Utah's Clean Air Partnership. And she's also serving as the vice chair of the Utah Clean Cities Board of Trustees. So welcome, Kim, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to be here. This is exciting. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, it's our pleasure to have you. We also have Kelly Barrett, who is our senior project manager. And you see Scott Brandenberry there. The Lancer Energy has been honored as the Fleet of the Year award. Last year, that award went to Zion National Park, and the folks down there, Frank Austin, who's the fleet manager, and all the people who have made that fleet a success for over 21 years. And while I'm mentioning our special guest, I would like to do a special call out to Robin Erickson. She was and is an award-winning Clean Cities coordinator and also my beloved mentor. And we also have Superintendent Brady Baugh with Zion National Park with us. And we have many of our members from the Bipartisan Clean Air Caucus joining us here today. And all of you who are with us today, thank you again. Thank you for taking the time to spend this day with us. And we are recording this, so it'll live on our website, and we'll be able to review it and show special highlights as we go throughout our year. So we are hopeful to have the opportunity to celebrate in person this year. But this was not possible with just everything that was happening. But we hope this virtual platform continues to allow us to celebrate the achievements of our fleets, organization, and the many community leaders who are moving Utah forward with clean fuels into a clean fuel future. As we should recognize transportation, it is an essential service that did not stop delivering, moving, or growing through the pandemic. Transportation is an all-time high as far as growth, and we watch our transportation heroes continue to deliver essential medical supplies, food, and other time-sensitive transport goods. Thank you to America's fleets and drivers. Today, we are also honored to recognize the commitment of fleets around the state for their actions around alternative and renewable fuel adoption, and of course, the vehicles that they use. So again, we are honored to be joined by Kim Frost, who's the executive director of UCARE. Like I said, she's also serving as our vice chair with the Utah Clean Cities Board. It's a pleasure to work with Kim and her team at UCARE. Kim, thank you. And please take a moment to share your thoughts on today's awards and what it means to the Utah Clean Air Partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. There's such a great partnership between UCARE and Utah Clean Cities. They've quickly become an important partner to me personally as I've taken over this role. And I think that these recognitions today are so important, and they recognize a lot of people that have become leaders in this area and in this industry. And so it's just so important to recognize these, these great things that they're doing in this field and in the leaders that they are.
Oh, well, thank you, Kim. We're so honored to have a close partnership with UCARE. You connect across the state like we do. We have a lot of things in common. And every time we get together, we realize that we have such a shared focus and such an opportunity to work together. So we're excited about this upcoming year and all the opportunities that lay before us in this partnership. So we would like to begin today by presenting our legacy awards to two exemplary Clean Cities partners, and we'll hear a few words from them. We have invited our guests today to speak on behalf of their organization or themselves. And if they're available otherwise, I get to say what I want to say about them. So hopefully they've showed up to speak for themselves. So it'll be a great honor to begin with Dr. David Christensen. Dr. David Christensen and I met up in Logan, oh gosh, almost 6 or 7 years ago. And he was gracious enough to agree to become our board president, coming in behind Dr. Royal DeLagey. And during his 3 years with us, it's been incredible. I can't say enough about Dr. David Christensen. He is not only a colleague, but he is a friend. And I am the fairy godmother of his grandchild, Kate. That's my great title. And so, David, thank you so much for serving Utah Clean Cities in the capacity that you have over the past 3 years, combining our mission, working so closely with our board and with myself, always being there to offer guidance and be a mentor. Your advice is always fantastic and so elevated. So I can't thank you enough for your service and everything that you've done for Clean Cities and what you continue to do for Utah, our nation, and the world with the great work you do there at Aspire.
Well, Tammy, thank you. You are way, way too kind. I appreciate those kind words. Great opportunity to work with you and the rest of the team there at Clean Cities, and certainly the board over the past little while. Maybe just let me share a couple of thoughts, if I might. I chastised Tammy just a little bit at the end of last week. I said, I don't need a recognition to do the fun work that we've done together. Our objectives align so well with what Clean Cities is doing. It's just a no-brainer for us to work together. Same with Kim and her team and so many others. And we'll continue to do that. It was definitely time for me to hand over the role of the chair to Scott. And so to Scott and Kim and Matt and so many others, just keep going on. Again, on a personal note, thanks for mentioning my granddaughter, Kate. Now I have a grandson as well. And when I started working as the chair, not even just on the board, about 3 years ago or so, I remember speaking at some occasion, maybe it was this one that you're showing here, and said, hey, my interest here certainly is professional, but I also want to preserve the wonderful things we have here in the state of Utah for my grandkids. And now I have more of those and another one on the way. And I think we're making progress, and we'll continue to make progress. In fact, I know that we are. So my hat is off to you and the rest of the team. I look forward to continue supporting and working on the board, and we'll just keep moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, David. So appreciate you. And you did chastise me. You're like, I don't want this award. Like, you're getting it, and you'll like it. So thank you so much.
I'm sure I will. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you. We love this photo of you. So thank you for serving Clean Cities, and thank you for continuing to serve on our board. Like you said, our missions align, and we have a great partnership. So next slide, please. So we're really excited today. This is our Fleet of the Year award, and it goes to Lancer Energy. Lancer Energy, I can't even think about Utah Clean Cities without Lancer Energy. Scott Brandeberry and Lance have been colleagues and friends to me for 7 years. When I started, actually, Scott was on the board that had hired me. And he has been a longtime friend and mentor. If I need anything, I can call on Scott Brandeberry. He is always there for us. He has been such a loyal and incredibly productive member of Utah Clean Cities. Utah would not be where it is with infrastructure and alternative fuel vehicles without Lancer Energy. And it doesn't just begin with their history, which is at the bottom, when they were founded in 1889, and as they have grown their company to such a level of excellence that it's just almost unimaginable how much this company has grown and what it's capable of doing and what it's doing now. So I would like to turn the time over to Scott Brandeberry to talk a little bit about Lancer Energy, his relationship with Clean Cities. I know that we have Robin Erickson on here, and how much Scott thinks of her and how she really influenced some of their business modeling. But as you can see, I mean, they have over 40 stations. They have done over 500 vehicle conversions. They've moved an office to Las Vegas now. So Scott, come online and say a few words on behalf of yourself and Lancer Energy.
Well, thank you, Tammy. See, I'm trying to.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
First of all, thank you, Clean Cities. I mean, this award wouldn't be possible or be without, great partners that we have in the state. I mean, Atlas Disposal, Dominion Energy, Atlas Refuel. They've been great partners for us to actually promote clean energy in the advanced transportation field. And most important, I think, in any team is its employees. And we are very fortunate to have employees that have bought in to advanced fuels. They're by far our biggest asset, and they go above and beyond what's needed, to promote these fuels. And we started way back almost 20 years ago with Beverly. Robin came in right after that. Then we had Tammy. It's been a great 20 years. We believe in the Clean Cities mission to advance fuels, cleaning the air. We're just really excited to see what Tammy and her team's going to do in the next 20 years. So anyways, thank you for this award. I share it with not only my coworkers, but our partners as well.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you to your whole team. And like you said, it does take a team, and we could spend an hour just going over the history of all the amazing things you've done in our state, in our region. You are a state leader, you are a regional leader, and you're nationally recognized. So thank you for your incredible work and your association with Clean Cities. Again, I don't believe that Clean Cities would have the success that we're recognizing today without great partners like you. And again, Scott is the type of person that you're going to get an honest answer, and it's pretty rare that you have a stakeholder that you can say, I know 100% that I trust Scott Brandenberry to give the right information. So Scott, thank you for that incredible integrity that you carry with you in your work and in your personal life. Very appreciated.
And we couldn't have done it without the Clean Cities organization. So thank you to Robin and Tammy both.
Well, thank you. Right. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Free, for helping as well. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so we're going to intersperse this presentation with a couple different things. We have some fleet awards that these are exemplary. We started this last year and a really amazing fleet call out to so many of our members, and they are still winners today. And they continue to have the greatest greenhouse gas reductions of any fleet in the state. They have these incredible statistics because they're using clean alternative fuels that just knock it out of the ballpark. And so Kelly and I have named this program. This was a particular project of Kelly as a graduate fellow last year to build out our Green Fleets program with the Beyond Zero Green Fleets program. The reason why we decided to do that, it was a really conscientious choice, is that we looked at it as like, well, we could be, a zero emissions or near zero, and that those words were floating around. It's like, you know what? In Utah, we can go beyond zero. We can use what would be otherwise released as a greenhouse gas, methane from landfills or agribusiness, and we can turn that into energy. And from that energy, we can make a fuel such as renewable natural gas, we can make electricity, and now we know we can make hydrogen from that as well. So it's a very exciting time. So with that, we were excited to look at the High Road Awards, which are generated by using data that we collect from the previous year. So this is data from 2020. We are going to recognize and share some brief statements and accomplishments of partners for their outstanding achievements, and they are outstanding. We really had a great time looking at the EPA calculator and doing equivalencies of like, what is this reduction equal to? So they're relatable, so we can understand what is 2,000 pounds of greenhouse gases reduced, or what does that really mean in real terms? So we use some things that we all recognize, like barrels of oil. We present the High Roads Recognition fleet data points, and they're designed to share with real world transportation, with real on the road applications and real fleets doing hard work and reducing emissions, using cleaner fuels and leading the charge towards a cleaner future. So with that, Kelly, I think, do you want me to start off with our next, let's start out with our next slide.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will just follow up as well and just say that this information is collected annually from fleets and emission data from our partners, providing us with a really effective way to document the implementation and deployment of alternative fuels, idle-free reduction initiatives, fuel economy activities, and the efforts to reduce vehicle miles traveled. And so we collect this data every year, and this is how we compiled these recognition pieces. The information that is submitted by our partners is analyzed then by the National Renewable Energy Lab, and then it's translated into energy use impacts, greenhouse gas reductions, gas gallon equivalencies, and then other metrics that are easy to communicate with the public and the fleet stakeholders. So Tammy, I will kick it back to you.
Awesome. Well, we would like to start with our last year Green Fleet of the Year award, and that went to Zion National Park and their amazing propane fleet shuttle that they've had down there for over 21 years. So this data is from 2020. In 2020, the park provided 6.88 million people who rode the shuttle through the park. That's tremendous. That's a lot of people. This year, it's a million more than that. But again, this data is from 2020. And we're so excited to see that the park was our Triumphant Fleet program for 2020. And that was 20 years of using a propane shuttle within the park, which reduced emissions so significantly. It's really exciting to see how much they reduced in 2020. They reduced enough emissions that it was equal to 2 million miles avoided from passenger vehicles. 2 million miles within the park were avoided from passenger vehicles by the shuttle, by using the shuttle, and the emissions saved by the shuttle. So that's really exciting. Zion National Park is also idle free. We value our relationship and are so honored to work with the park with the Southwest Regional Transportation Roadmap. And we have a new program. One of our new programs is called MOVE. It's the Mobility Outdoor Visitor Experience. And so stay tuned, because that's a really neat program that is building out around the park and looks to be regional, to be scaled, and actually work on a national basis. So we're very excited by that. So back to you, Kelly.
Perfect. So we're going to just quickly go through some recognitions, and we'll start off with Utah State University. So with over 93 alternative fuel vehicles in their fleet, the greatest gas gallon equivalencies reduced in a higher education institution goes to Utah State University. With these vehicles, Utah State University helped prevent over 143 tons of greenhouse gases in 2020. So thank you, Utah State University. Next, we recognize the commitment of the University of Utah in preventing over 890 tons of greenhouse gas emissions through idle-free ordinances and advanced fuel fleets. Thank you, U of U. Next, we recognize our EVSE infrastructure leader, Rocky Mountain Power. Not only are they committed to expanding electric vehicle infrastructure throughout Utah, but their own fleet has prevented over 318 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. Thank you, Rocky Mountain Power. Next, we recognize Salt Lake International Airport. This airport has expanded their fleet to include over 220 advanced and clean fuel vehicles, including biodiesel, renewable natural gas, electric, and hybrid vehicles, as well as implementing idle-free ordinances. And they've prevented over 890 tons of greenhouse gas through these efforts. Next, we recognize ACE Recycling and Disposal for their heavy-duty innovation with their renewable natural gas fleet, with over 126 renewable natural gas haulers, preventing over 480 tons of greenhouse gas emissions from these haulers. And they also include they actually just got a EV refuse hauler that they're doing kind of a pilot with in 2021. So we're very excited to learn more about how that goes and how that can potentially be expanded throughout the state. So thank you, ACE Recycling. Next, we are proud to recognize the commitment and dedication of Paskett with a fleet of over 117 electric vehicles with over 50 charging stations. They've helped in preventing over 380 tons of greenhouse gases. Today, we recognize Paskett as our electric fleet of the year. Next, we have Next, with 91 CNG vehicles, 255 hybrid EVs, 31 battery electric vehicles, and idle-free ordinances, Salt Lake City has prevented over 2,700 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. So we recognize Salt Lake City and the Salt Lake City fleets for their greenhouse gas emissions reduction in a diversified fleet. Next, with over 331 renewable gas stations and fleet vehicles preventing over 3,400 tons of greenhouse gases, we recognize Dominion Energy with the greatest greenhouse gas reductions in Utah through the use of renewable natural gas. Thank you, Dominion. Next, we have with over 126 renewable natural gas refuse haulers helped to prevent over 630 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. We recognize the work and dedication of waste management in having the greatest reduction of greenhouse gas and gas gallon equivalents in a refuse hauler. And then finally, the recognition that highlights the reduction of and prevention of greenhouse gas through the use of biodiesel with their 34 buses within their transit fleet. We recognize Park City Municipal Fleet for the greatest greenhouse gas reductions through the use of biodiesel. Thanks, Park City. And now, Tammy, I'll pass it back to you to finish off our high road recognitions.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you. Clicking around here. So we are so delighted to be partnering with Weber State University. It was a partnership that was inspired by our work with Rocky Mountain Power and the West Paskett, and also our work with Aspire and Talis Black up at Utah State. So go Aggies again there, David Christensen. So we were so happy to begin working with Weber State. Right when we connected with them, the pandemic hit and they were online doing some of their EV fleet training. But when we were able to reconnect after COVID lifted up a bit and we were able to go visit their campus, we were so impressed with everything that Weber State has going on. They've applied for a bridge grant, and it's all to build out the workforce of tomorrow. They have a Pathways program, which is a STEM program. They have amazing leadership there. Scott Hazick, who's also serving on the Clean Cities Board, is the assistant dean of the College of Automotive Engineering. Their group there is fantastic. And if you look at those pictures, I know they're a little bit small, but it was so amazing to see over 150 high school students looking at it. There was an equal number of young men and women who were looking at the technology of the future. It was very exciting. And then you can see that there was a group of us that went up and spoke. We have Representative Suzanne Harrison there. She's so amazing. She was really a hit, especially among the young women at the school. With all her humility, that she was embarrassed by all of her fantastic credentials, and we had to chuckle because all the young women just flocked around her in just great admiration. And of course, as always, Dr. Harrison is so humble and amazing. But again, this is a high road recognition to our new partnership with Weber State University and their team there. What a great group of folks. We are really excited to be working with Rocky Mountain Power and the West Paskett to build out a workforce development plan along with Weber State, ensuring that we are building the workforce for tomorrow, that we are offering the ability to train, to reskill, and to build out as we see this great revolution of automotive industry and the fleet industry changing. Currently, about 90% of our semis are still driving on diesel. So we know that we'll still have folks that will need to be diesel mechanics, but we also want them to be CNG mechanics and propane mechanics and hydrogen mechanics and electric mechanics. So this is an exciting world. And never forget that there's all kinds of things that are happening among fleets that is not just related to being on the road. I mean, there's the sales of there, there's parts of maintenance, there's all kinds of things that happen around fleets. And so it's, again, such a pleasure to work with Weber State. What an award-winning group of folks there are up there. So with that, we just look forward to reporting all of our great successes next year. So thank you. And this is a really near and dear award to me. This recognizes the fantastic work and leadership that the Salt Lake County School District has done. They have an amazing climate goal declaration that they are achieving with their solar. They are leading in the state with electric fleet adoption for their buses. And as we poked around with some other leading states and cities, we know that in fact, this electric fleet is actually leading out in the nation with some of the adoption pieces they're working with. We're really honored to be working with Ken Martinez, shown there with myself. He is such an amazing fleet manager and director of this whole program. He's very excited about the technology. He's all in. His drivers are excited to be driving these clean, powerful school buses. And it certainly was dedicated, the specific area for that was chosen to receive the electric buses is on the west side, and they are most greatly affected by emissions of any area in our Wasatch Front region. So thank you. We applaud the leadership of Salt Lake County School District and their visionary work that they are demonstrating with their electric buses in Utah and in communities who really need a lift up away from emissions. So thank you, Salt Lake School District, and thank you, Ken Martinez. This is a really neat award, and Atlas is a new member to Clean Cities. They've been with us for a few years. They're a really remarkable company, and it's exciting to see what they're doing with their fleet. 60% of their fleet uses renewable natural gas. They also have an amazing solar array on their parking structures there, and further, they actually store their own energy in this complex battery system that they have within their shop. So they're preparing for a future where they are energy independent, where they're using renewables. And then also they have a fully integrated ultra fast charging system from FreeWire. FreeWire is an amazing partner of Utah Clean Cities. And we were so excited to see that they put this standalone charging system at their site. Anyone who has an electric car, I encourage you to go out and try it out. It's a really beautiful system. It can stand alone. So as we work on our different projects across the state, there's not always powered or three-phase power to where we're trying to hit the end of the road with some charging infrastructure. So when we think of our gateway communities, our national parks, that kind of technology is really exciting because it stands alone. It doesn't have to be hooked to the grid. It has its own battery system. So you can set up a solar system like they've done at Atlas. So we want to applaud Atlas for being a renewable energy fleet of the year, using multiple fuel sources with biofuels, renewable fuels, renewable electricity through a solar panel and a standalone charging station. So again, thank you, Atlas, for being an incredible partner and a leader in innovation with the Utah Clean Cities program, the Beyond Zero Fleet program. You're a great model of that. So we're going to continue on with our 2020 Beyond Zero awardees. And I'm going to pass the time over to Tim. This was to Kim. This was one a really this was a really neat opportunity. We worked with Samantha Distillhorst. She came to UCare and applied for a grant to work with a Tri-City opportunity. And we had a really wonderful experience working with the three cities. And again, using the UCare funding along with some funding matches from Utah Clean Cities, we were able to pull together a really amazing interlocal sustainability action plan, which those three cities are using. So Kim, I'll let you take it from here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. It is my pleasure to award this. So as Tammy mentioned, this project was an awardee of a UCare grant, and it's my pleasure to award it to Samantha, who really spearheaded this project, and really led the charge on this. One of the criteria for a UCare grant is that it can be replicated, and that's because we want to make sure that our funding is going not only to specific projects, but ones that can be replicated in the future. And so I've just been so impressed with Samantha's willingness and enthusiasm around sharing this project with other communities, because this project is really one that can help transform Utah communities in the future. And the analysis that came out of it has really helped us better understand the levels of carbon dioxide, particulate matter, NOx, emissions in all those categories. And so again, my pleasure to award this to Samantha, and would invite her to say a few words on this. Is Samantha with us, Kelly?
Yeah, she is. Let's see.
Hey everybody, I'm not sure if you can hear me. You hearing me?
Yep, we can.
Okay, awesome. It's always a little bit different with like the webinar because I can't see myself, but as long as you can hear me, that's great. Thank you so much for the recognition on this award. I feel kind of like silly being the one receiving it because I just did a little bit of coordination. The recognition should really go to the staff from each city and the city councils who were so supportive of this project. Kim did a really great job, I think, of giving an overview of the project's goals and kind of baselining the emissions that are projected from each city's fleet, each city's staff commutes, and then each city's municipal buildings. And I just wanted to mention too that as well as this project being highly replicable by other interested cities, the data that we've collected from this project has already been so helpful and informative in kind of prioritizing maybe upgrades we do to our city buildings or policy recommendations for telecommuting, as well as new fleet procurement decisions. So it's always super rewarding to see the deliverables of a project used in everyday practice. And we just really would not have been able to do this without the support of our partners like Utah Clean Cities, Utah Clean Energy, and of course our funding from UCARE. So thank you so much for the recognition. I feel like I don't deserve it, but really appreciate it.
Thanks, Samantha. Well, Tammy, do you want me to jump in on this one? Do you have
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
We're very excited to have this award. Long-standing community member, Scott Williams. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to give Scott this award. For almost 20 years, HEAL has fought to protect Utah's health and in our natural world through their environmental threats, and really through their policy and advocacy. And, you know, for the last several years, they've been lucky enough to have Scott at the helm. And I know we're sad to see him retiring from this role, but look forward to the new executive director's leadership. I know that one of the reasons that Scott has mentioned that he joined HEAL and has served in this role and in this capacity is because of his grandchildren. And really what HEAL has been able to do on the policy front, we as UCARE feel thankful for, because we aren't a policy organization and we really rely on partners like HEAL to do this important work. And what they've been able to accomplish and what they continue to strive for in their mission has really, you know, will not only help Scott's grandchildren, but future generations. And so we applaud Scott's leadership. And personally, I've learned a lot from him in the last year, and just want to recognize all of his service to this organization.
Fantastic. I think, oh, there we go. Hi, we have his video up.
Oh, good.
Scott, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi. So I didn't have time to chastise Tammy or Kim about this because it was so unexpected, and it's such an honor, but even more so now that I see who the other awardees are. So thank you so much. I think the things that make HEAL an organization that I think has such a great past and is so effective and such a great future is that we recognize that there's this wide continuum of advocacy that includes agitators and activators and collaborators, and everybody has a role. And sometimes we get a little frustrated with each other, but that tension is what creates progress, I think. And so we try to make sure that when the agitators are frustrated with the collaborators, that we sort of say, wait a minute, that's an important part of moving policy forward too. And I think that's been one of our team's values, is to value the role of everybody who tries to work on these issues. We try to have a mentoring organization. I think especially with me being here as sort of a secondary part of my career, the idea is to let people go out and try things and make mistakes and see what works and see what doesn't. That carries all the way down to our very vibrant internship program, where we try to bring young college students in to learn about this work. And I think sort of personal growth is part of the vibe of HEAL. I think one of the things I'm the most proud about in the last couple of years is our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. Those can be kind of virtue signaling words, but we've tried really hard to talk about how we incorporate that into the way we select board members, the way we run our board meetings, the way we advertise for staff positions, the way we message our campaigns. We talk about rooftop solar and electric vehicles, but not everyone can afford those things. So it's really important that our messaging not be exclusive that way. And then finally, we just try to honor the past. We have some great founders who've brought this organization along, and we always want to remember that. And then we also want to raise the bar, looking into the future, and honor their contribution by saying, we can take what you did and do even more with it. So thanks so much. And thanks for everything, Utah Clean Cities. It's just so great to have an hour here to see all of the stuff that's quietly being done to improve our air and our climate. So thank you, Tammy and Kim.
Thank you, Scott.
Yes, thank you, Scott.
So I'm going to jump in and talk about an ongoing partnership, and then we'll bring Kim back on to give another award to an extraordinary health hero. But to begin with, we want to talk about our relationship and our new branding campaign that we started in September, or that we launched in September. We actually started in the summer working on this. But Intermountain Health has been a great partner, and they were brought to us really through Dr. Liz Joy. I don't know how Dr. Liz Joy does all that she does, but she certainly does. I first met her years ago. We were doing a radio spot, and I didn't know who she introduced herself. She says, "Hi, I'm Liz." That's how she introduces herself. Never, "I'm Dr. Joy." It's always, "Hi, I'm Liz." And I listened to this remarkable woman speak, and I thought, wow, she's incredible. Who is she? And so I made it my business to find out who Dr. Liz Joy was and is. And she's amazing. And I know that Kim will have some words to speak about her as well as we go forward. She's up next. But through Liz Joy, we were able to build a relationship with Intermountain Healthcare and other clean air advocacy groups that work with Intermountain Healthcare, including Dr. Kelly at the University of Utah and her dynamic signage and the idle-free work that her group is doing on behalf of the university, and also UCare. So really exciting opportunity. Intermountain Health reached out to us and said, listen, we want to brand our campuses. We want to stop unnecessary idling in our drop off and pickup zones. Let's partner. And of course, we were brought together again by Liz Joy. And so we began the process. And I started working with Glenn Bebe and Sterling Morris and all the folks there. Mikkel was so wonderful to present with us in September on our Idle Free. But we're very excited to look at Intermountain Health's mission, which of course is to help people live the healthiest lives possible. And breathing less air pollution means people will face lower risk of premature death and various other serious health effects. And so they are working to ensure that we have cleaner air. And they've made an environmental sustainability fundamental to their mission statement. They offer free UTA passes. They offer satellite work for those who can do it. They have an alternative fuel fleet. They have commitments to moving their fleet to alternative fuels in a very short time, by 2025, to have 50% of their fleets do that. But to talk more about all the great work that we're doing, we have Dave Miner here today, who is really at the head of the spear of so many of these initiatives on behalf of Intermountain Health. And so, Dave, are you available to say a few words? Let's see, do we have Dave?
I don't see Dave, but if anybody from Intermountain Health would like to speak, you can just message in the chat and I can unmute you.
It looks like, or do we have the video of Dave, Cal, that we could start?
Yes.
Let's start the video. I apologize. That was my mistake. Dave was kind enough to actually record a video for us. So we will start that for you. And while Kelly's pulling that up, I just want to thank Glenn Beebe for being here, and Sterling Morris, who's been such a great support and help to us. We really appreciate all of the great work and the enthusiasm. We kind of came at them without a whole lot of pre-notice that we were doing this awards event, and they rallied and just really put together some really great materials for us. And so I know that Kelly's pulling that together. But again, we're so excited to be working with Intermountain Health. The new brand is exciting. We have a new logo, and this is our legacy logo. You can see behind me, which just has the car and then missions. Our new logo is a pretty exciting piece, and that it shows some new images. So I'll give the time over to Kelly. Okay, maybe we can restart that and see what's going on. We can't hear the audio, so I'm not sure. Glad I'm not in charge of the technical parts of this.
Let's see.
At Intermountain Healthcare, our mission is to help people live the healthiest lives possible.
Can you hear it now, Tammy?
We
Yes,
know
yeah.
clean air is critical to good. Hi, I'm Dave Miner, Assistant Vice President of the Environment of Care at Intermountain Healthcare. In my role, I oversee many of Intermountain's efforts to operate in sustainable ways. We are thrilled to receive this recognition from Utah Clean Cities. Thank you for this award. At Intermountain Healthcare, our mission is to help people live the healthiest lives possible. We know clean air is critical to good health and well-being. When our air becomes too polluted, it affects physical and mental health, diminishes the safety of being outdoors, and contributes to social isolation by forcing people inside. And we know that we can all play a part in improving air quality. As Intermountain joins others to improve air quality, we can live our mission. One of my favorite things about living in Utah is enjoying the amazing skiing with my family. It's often sobering, however, to see the thick inversion cloud sitting over the valley as we make our way back down the mountain. Those inversions serve as a stark reminder that my family and all who live in many parts of Utah sometimes breathe unhealthy air. But we know we can make a difference in our air quality by focusing on carbon reduction. We saw this in 2020 when the pandemic took so many vehicles off the road, and we saw a dramatic improvement in air quality. We can all play a role in improving our health. Intermountain is investing resources to ensure we keep our air clean. To reduce air pollution at the entrances of our hospitals, Intermountain closely partnered with Utah Clean Cities to develop and design idle-free signage. And we've now installed 128 of those signs at 18 of our hospitals. We also understand that idle-free efforts extend to Intermountain vehicles. And we have currently focused many efforts on monitoring and reducing unnecessary idling in our fleet vehicles. And speaking of fleet vehicles, we are currently in the process of moving toward cleaner vehicles, intending to power more than 50% of our fleet with alternative fuel by 2025. We also have installed electric vehicle charging stations throughout much of Intermountain's footprint. These charging stations are available to caregivers and community members, and we currently have capacity of 160 charging ports. Intermountain has also invested in clean, renewable energy procurement. In September 2021, we announced that we've engaged in a new power purchase agreement from the Castle Solar Project. in partnership with D.E. Shaw Renewable Investments and Rocky Mountain Power. The Castle Solar Project will supply Intermountain facilities with clean renewable energy and will account for roughly 20% of our health system's electricity needs. Finally, Intermountain has made a $1 million impact investment in the Triple Bottom Line Foundation. This helps make energy efficient upgrades to existing affordable housing developments in the state of Utah. These upgrades will reduce electricity and water consumption for several hundred households while reducing fossil fuel generated electricity through solar panel installation. These air quality improvement activities, like the ones that I've mentioned, can help improve the health of our community members and are ways that Intermountain is striving to improve community health beyond the doors of our facilities. I want to again thank Utah Clean Cities for your incredible partnership and collaboration and for this recognition. I also want to thank Utah Clean Cities for the pivotal work you lead in ensuring our community members have clean air to breathe, helping them each live their healthiest life possible. Thank you.
Get back up our screen. Thank you. Dave, thank you so much for the incredible shout out, for all the good work that we're all working with together. And it's really been a pleasure to work with you. And it's so remarkable to hear a realistic commentary on the true health effects of poor air quality. And we do know it's isolating. We do know that it's limiting people's lives. We know that it's affecting not only their physical health, but their mental health. And so thank you for being very transparent about that. I think that the more we understand the effects of pollution on our lifestyles, our bodies, our minds, our souls, our spirits, that we can move to a better understanding and take more and more action to ensure that we do live in healthy communities. So with that, I'm very excited to go back to Kim and have Kim present our next award. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, thank you so much. So it is my great pleasure to give the Beyond Zero Clean Air Award to Dr. Liz Joy for the Clean Air Hero, Health Hero Award this year. Dr. Joy, Liz, is the Medical Director of Community Health and Nutrition at Intermountain Healthcare, and she also co-chairs the Air Quality and Health Work Group. And as Tammy mentioned, she's our past board chair and still serves on the UCare board. It is really her example and advocacy for air quality that has shifted the dialogue around air quality in our state and has really helped individuals and communities understand the health impacts of poor air quality. And now, I mean, there really isn't a conversation that we have around air quality that doesn't involve health. And I really think that it's her kind of eloquence and her communication skills that has really helped, especially the public, understand that. And we know that it's one of the most important reasons why individuals care about air quality in our state. So it's through her leadership at UCare that has really helped craft our organization's direction. And I just applaud her for everything that she does. She's an example as well because she drives an electric vehicle. So she's putting her money where her mouth is, as they say. And I just could not be happier to recognize Dr. Joy. So I will let her say a few words.
I'm not sure. Liz, are you with us? Are we just delaying and getting her queued up?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Hi.
Excellent. Hi there. Two of my favorite women. I'm just thrilled to be here today and so thrilled to really accept this award, really on behalf of the work we do at Intermountain Healthcare and really our excellent air quality and health team. And I certainly have to acknowledge our leadership team in sustainability. You know, this work all started about a decade ago when our CEO at the time, Dr. Charles Sorensen, asked me to kind of lead Intermountain's efforts around air quality and health. And I was thrilled to kind of take up that charge. And at the time, worked very closely with my colleague, Steve Bergstrom, and now Glenn Garrick, who serves in the role as Director of Sustainability. And we are working hard in order to ensure that Intermountain is both protecting the environment as well as protecting our patients, our caregivers, and the broader community. We are one of the state's largest employers, and we certainly recognize our responsibility to protect the environment for our patients, employees, and the community. And, Dave Miner mentioned all the different clean air efforts, that Intermountain is engaging in. And since repetition is good for the memory, I'll mention a few of them again that, do include expansion of our EV charging network and our telework policies, the idle-free signage and our partnership with Utah Clean Cities, public transportation benefits for, our 40,000 Intermountain caregivers, our efforts to invest in renewable energy, and really through dedicated research, as well as improvements in education and clinical care that really all aim to help us achieve our mission of helping people live the healthiest lives possible. And of course, we so appreciate the leadership of Utah Clean Cities and UCare and so many other partners. And we really look forward to our future partnerships and our collective ongoing success. So on behalf of my colleagues, I say thank you.
Thank you, Liz. What an honor and a pleasure it is to have one of my favorite women join me today, and Kim. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Kim. And so our next slide. So this is an urgent request. This is a very busy woman, and she has so graciously agreed to meet with us today. But today we are honoring the incredible work of Representative Melissa Ballard. Not only is she an incredible woman and an accomplished woman, she's also a fearless leader who has just triumphantly pounded her fist and said, we must have better solutions to alternative fuels. And in her reckoning, she is definitely bringing hydrogen to the forefront, not only for Utah, for our region, but for the nation. She's known across our nation as being the woman who is promoting hydrogen and doing such a fantastic job. So I know that you're pressed for time because you have a meeting next. So Representative Ballard, please give us a few words and give us any time that you have. Thank you for squeezing us into your very busy day on the Hill. And I want to give time to you. Thank you. Thank you. And we're so grateful, and congratulations with your award.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. This is an honor for your organization to give me this award. You have such a great impact across the state in encouraging clean fuels and improving our air. It has been a privilege actually for me to be part of a lot of collaboration throughout the state to encourage hydrogen from any production and source. And so last year, I did some legislation that put hydrogen on parity, whether it was renewable or non-renewable, and also did a tax credit. This year, I just passed in the House HCR 7 that actually has an encouragement for short haul locomotive and freight switcher rail to go to zero emissions because of their they do have actually across the Wasatch Front about 9% of our NOx emissions. So I really appreciate them being collaborative with the manufacturers and with each other and with refueling partners to really prepare to be zero emissions by 2050 or sooner. And I noticed that there's a number of great people on. I sent it was interesting that I was asked to share a couple of pictures, and I thought, who are my partners? Well, I appreciate so much of Scott Brandeberry. I know I can see he's on, but he's also a collaborator that has really brought so many people together with Lancer Energy to be able to do that. It's crucial that the legislature support good policy for clean air and incentivizing our businesses and communities. And I've worked hard with the Utah Inland Port to be able to encourage new companies and existing companies to have that facilitated for our businesses to be able to have clean energy. So I really appreciate Utah Clean Cities. You are great at putting all of us in the same room and making the conversation at the top of our list of our priorities. And so with that, just wanted to say thank you and look forward to our air getting even cleaner here in Utah.
I have no doubt that we're going to accomplish that. Thank you, Representative Ballard. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy day to join us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, so our next award is along the same lines. And this year we have worked really closely with the Bipartisan Clean Air Caucus. The bills that these people have put out for clean air and transitioning our transportation system to a cleaner future is remarkable. And we are so lucky in Utah to have such a strong bipartisan partnership is represented by the Clean Air Caucus, and it's been such a pleasure to work with them. They hold us accountable, they ask us hard questions, and we do the same to them. So we really appreciate the time and the effort and the goodwill that these folks have put together in energizing the Clean Air Caucus. One of my favorite representatives is Representative Suzanne Harris. So she is so amazing. And like I mentioned earlier, when we collaborated up in Weber State, how humble she was and how she just attracted every young person to come and shake her hand. She really is remarkable. How she is an anesthesiologist, a mother, a legislator. I don't know how she does it all. And she's always cheerful and has a smile on her face. I love her quote, one of the best things you can do to help clean up our air and to help reduce emission is to transition to cleaner transportation. And so we do appreciate that. And so all the good work that the Clean Air Caucus is doing is remarkable. We're very lucky to have one of the co-chairs, Representative Steve Handy, on our board. He has a really remarkable bill this year, basically allowing physicians to put on a death certificate the cause of death. And if the cause of death is because of air pollution and exposure to harmful air quality, that a physician can put that on the death certificate. Please look at our website. We are following all the transportation and clean air bills, and we're really excited to see what comes out of this session. Everybody is in session right now, so we regret that we weren't able to have someone from the Clean Air Caucus accept this award, but we will make sure the next time they get together that we present this to all of them, because what a great group of people. So incredible. Again, I can't say enough great things about the work that they're doing. It's always a pleasure to get a phone call from Representative Briscoe, who always will say, Tammy, it's Joel, give me a call. So we do. We are all connected, and we're all working really hard to see a brighter future for Utah. Okay, so we're at the end of the hour. So I'm going to again make a great call out to one of our oldest partners, which is UTA, Utah Transit Authority. We've had a long-standing relationship with them. We have done case studies on them. We have worked with them. I mean, they suffered some of the earlier pain points with transitioning to natural gas. They successfully have accomplished great mastery of their natural gas fleet. They have added electric to their fleet this year, and they are the greenhouse gas champion, reduction champions of the year. We have to just give a big call out to the dedicated team at UTA. And also, this is an opportunity for us to welcome Jay Fox, who is the new director of UTA. And when we asked him for his quote, I think he gave it very simply and very truthfully. Transit is the answer. So let's choose to use transit. We are so grateful to the great transit system that UTA has provided and continues to provide to Utah and our city. Thank you, UTA. Next slide, please. And last but not least, and we are so excited, and Kim and I are both a big fan of this young woman, Emily Paskett. Emily Paskett receives the Above and Beyond Recognition Award 2018 through 2021. Emily Paskett first began with Utah Clean Cities as an intern. She was still in college, and then she took a sabbatical and went to South America to do her studies. And when she came back, I just remembered how remarkable and incredible she was. And I ran into her and I said, Emily Paskett, are you interested in working with Utah Clean Cities? And she said yes. And it's one of the best yeses I've ever heard in my life. We would not be where we are today with the successes that we have with our grants, with our project management, and all that we do at Clean Cities today without the help of this young woman who has worked so tirelessly. I mean, Emily never said, gosh, I don't know if I have the time to work. It was always me saying, Emily, turn off your computer, stop working. You've done enough. And it was always above and beyond. So when we saw this description for a title, we knew that it went to Emily Paskett. Kim, I'd like you to say a few words because Emily now works with you. And I remember the day you called me and said, what do you think of Emily Paskett? It's like, I hate to see her go, but I know she has her own wings and you are the luckiest organization to receive her. So Kim.
Yeah, I absolutely feel incredibly lucky to have Emily on our team. We are a small team, but now I feel like we're very mighty with Emily, joining our team. And I just, millennials sometimes get a bad rap, but I'll tell you what, Emily is the example of a hardworking, passionate younger person that I'm so grateful to have coming into our workforce and really restores my faith. So I just feel like it's such an honor to have her on my team. And again, it's so important to have these upcoming leaders in our workforce. And so for that, I applaud her. I know she also worked at HEAL for a time. And so she just has this wide breadth of knowledge, and I have to rely on her for my advanced fuels technology, information. And she always just steps up and works really hard. So congratulations, Emily.
Emily, are you online? I believe you are. We would love for you to say a few words and show your beautiful face to all of us. Do you have a video capacity?
It doesn't look like I do, but that's okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, there you are.
Perfect. Thank you so much for all of your very nice words. It's such a privilege to work with organizations in the clean air field, and wouldn't be where I'm at now without the years that I spent at Utah Clean Cities. So thank you, Tammy and Kim. I'll make it short and sweet because I know we're at time, but thank you very much.
Emily, you're just so beloved. And I still get messages from across the nation wishing you well, and the chat's blowing up with people saying it couldn't go to a more deserved person and how much people have enjoyed working with you. So like Kim, you give me hope. You are a colleague, you are a friend, you are family. I am so excited to see what you're going to do with the rest of your life. You have so much future ahead of you. You do give me hope. It makes me feel better that Emily Paskett is in the world. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Much love to you. Okay, so thank you, Emily. And then our last, we're going to kind of wrap up today by I want to again thank Kim for serving on the Clean Cities board. I want to also thank her for being an incredible new face at UCare. We're all so excited with the new leadership that she brings, her fresh perspective, just her grace and her presence is wonderful, and her willingness to collaborate. And she's always just reaching out saying, well, let's work together on this. So we're so lucky to have her at the helm of UCare. So
thanks, Tammy. But really, thanks to all of the award recipients today. I just feel like it's been so eye-opening to see it all come together here today and see all the great things that are happening around green fleets and advanced technology and transit. It is really inspiring. So congratulations to everyone that won today. And thank you, Tammy, for your leadership at Utah Clean Cities. You're such an important organization and everything that you're doing. Thanks to the additional board members that are on this call. It's a really great organization. So lucky to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you, Kim. And again, Utah Clean Cities enjoys the partnership of over 90 stakeholders in our state. We serve our entire state. We're excited to have propane buses out in the Uinta Basin. We have amazing things happening down south, across the nation, Utah State with their incredible fleet. So again, thank you to everyone who makes this possible, that gives us our Beyond Zero Green Fleets program. And our last slide, we're going to wrap up by playing the video from last year. We love this video. It lives on our website. This is the video from Zion National Park. You'll get an opportunity to listen to the great leadership of Jeff Bradybaugh and Frank Austin, who is their incredible fleet manager. And so let's sign off today. Keep up the clean air work. Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for the fleet work that all of you are doing. And let's make Utah the cleanest state, not only the greatest snow, but we have the greatest air. And with that, I'll sign off. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy your pizzas, those that have them.
For 20 years, the Zion National Park propane shuttle fleet has been triumphant. This remarkable fleet has shown the world of alternative fuel transportation the true meaning of willpower, dedication, achievement, success, and mastery. And that is why we at Utah Clean Cities use the word triumphant to describe the Zion Shuttle Fleet program.
The story of the shuttle actually starts way back in the mid-1970s with the park master plan. Park Service realized that Zion Canyon in particular was becoming crowded with traffic. They anticipated that a transportation system of some sort was going to be necessary. So then we fast forward to the early 90s, and park visitation had continued to increase, and traffic congestion was becoming a pretty severe problem in the canyon. The Park Service began a formal process of planning, design, and engineering for operating a shuttle system. Part of the visitor experience, of course, is for people to experience nature in a natural soundscape, natural air quality conditions. So that helped lead to some of the discussion about what sort of transit we needed in terms of fuel type. That helped drive the idea that propane would be a cleaner fuel to use than the traditional diesel engine buses. It was amazing. People who had been to the park previously and had experienced some of the traffic congestion commented to us with things like, "You've given us the park back. We can hear the birds. We can experience the natural environment." So there was a lot of acceptance from the visiting public. We've been fortunate to have the same contractor operating the system this entire period of time. That continuity is excellent in terms of operational efficiency, but even more, it's a very close-knit group that works, between Park Service staff and shuttle staff that work very closely together, and it's just been a really great relationship over the years.
I think we have proven LPG propane can still be a very viable fuel, cost efficient, and will always be there for them. We make light rail systems jealous.
Again, I think the values of the shuttle system are that they provide access to an extraordinary visitor experience, being able to focus on the environment around you rather than driving your car, and being able to get on and off the shuttle bus at different locations just provides a great visitor experience. When we made the decisions to move into the shuttle system, we looked at what were the types of vehicles available to us, and we felt that, as a national park, we should be leaders in sustainability.
Utah Clean Cities has seen firsthand how a well-managed, dedicated, and triumphant team works together to accomplish the greater goal of providing a safe, clean, reliable, and one-of-a-kind transportation experiences to one of the most beautiful places in the world, Zion National Park. Thanks to the dedicated team at the Zion National Park Fleet Program, millions of people have been moved by one of the greatest shuttle programs in the world. Today, we are delighted to present the first ever Beyond Zero Green Fleet Award, Fleet of the Year 2020 Award to Zion National Park. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And let's rock 2022. Thanks, Kim.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye. I hopefully up on the screen, we have our new sign from Intermountain Health with our upgraded logo. And I guess it's an up brand. And so we'll leave you with that. So remember, turn your key, be idle free. Thank you.